I know we say this every time, but this week, for real, is definitely serious. This chapter of One Piece has been one of the most hype, I believe, all year. And not simply just because of the action, but what a lot of it implicates. There is so much to go over in this chapter, so let's break it down. Let's just cut straight to the chase. Luffy is him. Like, you cannot deny it. No one can deny it anymore. Luffy is him, and it's absolutely undeniable. This man went in Nika Giant mode, and he has Saturn face getting crunched in one hand, while in the other hand he has an admiral crushed in his hand like a damn Andy's toy. Then on top of that, in the fan translation I'm looking at, he looks at both of them and tells them, there is no way I'm letting you escape. Y'all know that, right? Like, come on, Luffy is different. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me slow back down and bring things back down to pace. The chapter opens up where we left off with Caribou spilling his damn guts out to the Blackbeard pirates. This is something that I believe no one is surprised about, because from the moment that Caribou said he had something he should tell that man, everyone knew it was Blackbeard. Who else is slimy as Caribou? Like, it just always made sense to me that he would end up moving to the Blackbeard pirates, because I mean, what else would he do with all that information? Like, he knows too much. Quick side note, Van Auger just might be my favorite Blackbeard member, and it's just because the more and more we're seeing about him, bro just giving off like, I don't give a fuck vibes, I'm serious, I'm here to take heads, take names, like he own it. He was literally ready to shoot Caribou down, and I mean, I can't blame him, but he was ready to shoot him down off top. We gotta remember, Caribou knows a lot, and not just about information on the Straw Hats. He has information on 2 of the ancient weapons in their exact locations and pretty much how to get to them. That's absolutely massive. And I mean, we always knew this is what it would come to, but still, like, that's massive. And now that Blackbeard will have that information, that just makes it even scarier. I believe this will lead into the direct conflict between the Blackbeard pirates and the Straw Hat pirates. He will most likely go after Wano because 1, Kaido's not there to protect it, and 2, because there's an ancient weapon there. We know for a fact Luffy does not play about any of his friends, and it's on sight no matter who it is if you're going against his people. So I feel like when they do that, it's going to be on the flow. From there, we transition to the Vice Admirals pretty much trying to figure out what to do with the Pacifists, and I'm not going to lie, Pacifists making them look crazy right now, like crazy. So the plan they come up with is to eliminate Bonnie, which would free up the Pacifista. Off top, to me, this doesn't really paint the Marines in the best light, as they are clearly willing to kill this little girl. Now, maybe they don't have the information that she's a little girl, they think that she's just, an adult pirate, but it's still wild. Then we see one of the Vice Admiral by the name of Tosa go in for the kill on Bonnie, and he is immediately squashed. I mean, immediately, by our guys, Dory and Bragi. Like, they legit one-shot at him like he was a bug. From there, Dory and Bragi meet Frankie, Bonnie, and Atlas. And then they quickly talk and they realize that they're allies of the Straw Hat Pirates, so they get them to their teammates so they can take them to their ship to get to safety. While Dory and Bragi push forward to help Sanji, Luffy, and Dr. Vegapunk. Let's talk about Saturn for a second. When we see him in this chapter, he's absolutely massive. He's grown at least 4 times in his size. On top of that, he seems to have like more flames or something on him, and we later find out that he's actually coated in poison. Something important to mention is that Sanji mentions that he looks like he's given up on any pretense of looking human, and that there is a strange look in his eyes. And then on top of that, when he begins to attack Luffy, he's just striking everywhere wild and crazy like some type of wild feral animal. It could maybe be seen as him being, just upset or angry or something like that, but I think it goes deeper than that. Because also, he says 0 words in this chapter. And I think we've learned by now that Saturn, he usually has some like little smart, snarky remark to make. I think this has a lot to do with maybe what type of devil fruit he has, or maybe his awakening. And maybe something as like the longer he's in this form, the more control he loses. Or maybe even this. I have this crazy idea, theory, doesn't have any proof behind it anyway, but hear me out. What if this spider yokai monster form is actually his real form, and the human form that we normally see him and the other Gorosei in is actually their devil fruit form? If they all have some type of zone fruit model human, I could see that being a possibility. And I mean, it would make sense because they always speak as though they're not human. They're not of this world. They're not us. So, I mean, that makes sense to me. Going from there, Luffy is just dancing around him and dodging him with ease. Luffy then commands Sanji to escape with Vegapunk and get him to safety, as that was their original mission and their whole reason for even fighting right now. Sanji is then blindsided by Kizaru, and Vegapunk is shot through his stomach with the laser. It kinda looks like he got hit in the same exact spot that Saturn hit him in, if you ask me. Now maybe Kizaru tried to give Vegapunk like a super cauterization, or maybe he tried to kill him, who knows. Either way, Vegapunk's chances of living are getting slimmer and slimmer. From there, Luffy scoops up Kizaru in one hand like a damn action figure, and he face palms Saturn with the other hand. And dude, he looks like a fucking menace. Like, it's crazy. And for me, I absolutely love it, as this is the energy I feel like we need from Luffy. Like, he's not no runt. He's not no little guy. Luffy is a Yonko. He is one of them. He is the Nika god. Like, it's time for us to see exactly what he can do when he goes to that level and like really want to get it in. Now, this is where things get interesting. Sanji mentions that Vegapunk, who is on the verge of death, is seemingly smiling, and he's asking like, what are you smiling about? One could mean that he's a D-Clan member, and me personally, it wouldn't be a super stretch to say that, because I mean, Vegapunk is a good guy overall. Not saying that's a requirement to be a D member, shout out to Blackbeard, but still worth mentioning. But then, in Vegapunk's lab, we see some type of announcement begin to play. Now, this isn't just a message here on Egghead, this seems to be a message that Vegapunk is pumping to the entire world, which gives credence to the idea of Vegapunk pretty much wanting to create the internet with punk records. But then in the message he says, I'm about to tell you the truth of our world. Bro, like, do you get how big this is? Like, this is crazy, like crazy. Oda is cooking. He is a madman. He's a mad chef. Like, Oda is just different. Like, 20 years in the game, he different. So many theories, ideas, but overall, this was an excellent chapter. Like, everything you look for in a great chapter. More to come. This was kind of me just going over the chapter, giving some quick thoughts. But what do you guys think? Leave a comment, like below. Let me know. Let's have a conversation.